to TinChat. Alongside the radio play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne TinCaps, Mike Maahs, I am Justin Prince as always. And Mike, I've worn a blue shirt every week that we've done this so far. And I decided it was time for a change of scenery. We're out in center field on top of the lovely summit. And also a change of shirt because I think it's been bad luck for the TinCaps. They have not played well as of late, at least ever since I've been wearing the blue shirt, it seems like. But yeah, the struggles continued last week. They did get one more win than they have in the last few weeks, but they really did continue a 2-4 week last week here at home.
But you have to look at the bright side.
I'm wearing a gray shirt. That's the bright side.
You're wearing a gray shirt, and I'm wearing a gray shirt. And a 2-4 record, as crazy as it sounds, is better than the 1-5 record they've had the 3 previous weeks.
Yeah, it really is.
But and it very easily could have been a 4-2 as opposed to a 2-4.
Yeah.
One of the losses was a 1-0 game, and it's just one of those things. And I know our viewers, the fans that come out here to Parkview Field, those who listen to our broadcast on the radio, everyone has a little taste of frustration.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's expected a little bit more this year. But let's face it, in baseball and all the sports, sometimes it takes a longer time to gel than people would like. And you take into effect the fact that in minor league baseball, there's always player transactions going up, going down, maybe someone traded at some inopportune time. And so you always have different people in the mix, and it takes time to get used to their moves and what they do best and what they don't do best. And then you get some crazy luck. In the tail end of the West Michigan series last week and the beginning of the series this week against Quad Cities, a lot of TinCap batters have hit the ball on the nose.
Yeah, just right at people.
But seemingly right at, a member of the opposition right into the glove.
Yeah.
And you can't, what are you going to do?
Exactly. And you kind of mentioned it too. Obviously, you've had some hard luck losses there too. A 1-0 loss, obviously being one of them. It just seems like we've talked about it a lot. You got to get that mix of pitching, hitting, and fielding to come away with a victory a lot of nights. And they haven't gotten one of those big 3. We had a night where they had 4 errors. They had a night where they get shut out 1-0. And then they finally have a couple nights where they put up a few runs, and look at what happens. They get some wins.
Last night was an example.
Yes, exactly.
There was a game on Wednesday that was suspended by rain in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yep.
And at that point, the TinCaps were trailing 5-2, but they had runners at first and second and 1 out.
Yep.
So you have the overnight rain, the resumption of play. They're facing a different pitcher, and yet they just couldn't get the runners in.
Yep.
There were 3 times in that game, which was completed yesterday, where they left 2 runners on base.
Yeah.
And all you need is 1 key hit.
Yep.
And that could be the springboard. And then instead of the regular 9-inning scheduled game last night, it was a 7-inning game. And all of a sudden, it's as if somebody turned a switch on.
I know. Still only 6 hits in the game, but they still put up 6 runs.
6 runs, got some good pitching.
Yes.
Efrain Contreras made another start coming back from Tommy John surgery. And
we'll talk about him in a minute.
And all of a sudden, they're just a totally different team when they're ahead. I mean, obviously by the record, you're 12-4 when you score first, and you're 4-22 when you don't score first. And in the second game last night, they did score first.
Yeah.
And they hung on for a 6-2 win. And they just seem to have more energy, more pep in the step. The crowd got into it even more. Once they put some runs on the board, it's amazing how things can change.
Yeah, and it really is. And obviously it gives their pitching staff a little bit of confidence too when you're able to put up some runs. But speaking of the pitching staff, obviously I said we'd talk about Efrain Contreras. Probably his best start since coming back from Tommy John surgery last night. Hard luck, no decision for him. You got to go 5 innings to pick up a win, even in a 7-inning game, as Mike told me earlier. But 4 innings pitched. I believe it was 6 strikeouts, really pitched well, was able to get a good mix of his pitches, and despite giving up 2 runs, still able to, give his team a chance to win.
And from a velocity standpoint, it was the hardest he has thrown since coming back from TJ surgery. So that's a bright sign.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously one of the surprises here over the last couple of nights. We don't know all the details behind it just yet, but Robert Hassel III been out of the lineup for the first 2 games here so far of this season. He's been a mainstay in the lineup when there's been some changes elsewhere, but missing the last couple of nights. Obviously not sure about tonight yet since we're shooting ahead of time, but Robert Hassel has missed a couple of games, Mike.
But again, he had played in over 40 games, or 40 games I think it was. Yeah, which were 16 and 26. He had played the first 40 games of the season.
Yeah.
That's 1/3 of the schedule.
I know.
And when your name's in the lineup every day, at some point, you got to get tired. You know, there's
even with a day off on Mondays.
There's nobody that's middle name is Superman, and so he's getting a couple of days to rest and recharge the batteries.
Yeah, and I think it's much needed too. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've seen the whole lineup as a whole scuffle at the plate a little bit, but you haven't heard Hassel's name as much as you kind of expected here throughout these last couple of weeks.
And he did have a rough series with West Michigan where he went 3 for 25.
Yeah.
That equates to a 120 average. Even with all that, right now, coming into this game tonight, he's still batting .301. He's still on the top 6 or 7 in the league in hitting.
Yeah.
He's still in the top 10, and he's second in the league in hits. He's still in the top 10 in stolen bases. He's in the top 10 in runs batted in. So even though he has scuffled recently, he still can do some things that others can't. And hopefully after a couple of days rest, he'll be back and ready to go, and we'll see the Robert Hassel that we saw at the start of the season.
Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, 2 games left here at home with Quad Cities to close this thing out this weekend, get down to the ballpark. Mother Nature's supposed to cooperate here over the next couple of days. Thank you. It's about time. But then obviously 6 games on the road next week, up in Great Lakes before coming back home again for 6 more after that.
It's going to be a good series up in Midland, Michigan at Dow Diamond. The TinCaps hopefully will enjoy 3 more days, counting tonight. If the TinCaps can win these next 3 games, they will take 4 out of 6, and they will split the 12-game homestand.
Yeah.
And when you stop and think that they were 2-10 on the 12-game road trip, that's an improvement. That's a start. And you have to start somewhere.
Yep. Hey, like you said, you got to start somewhere. And like one of my favorite movies from Major League said, 2 games, you won 2 in a row. If you win 3, that's a winning streak. And who knows what can happen after that, right, Mike?
That's right. So, again, we finished things off with the Quad Cities River Bandits here. Enjoyed Memorial Day off, and that's still strange. This will be the second year that the team has not played on Memorial Day. Which is usually the second biggest draw of the year at home, only second to the 4th of July. But enjoy the holiday, and then the team will get on the bus Tuesday morning, make the 3.5-hour bus ride up to Midland, and let's see what happens next week with 6 games against the Loons. Again, the off day,
and then back
home when we welcome the Lake County Captains to Parkview Field for 6.
And speaking of Parkview Field is up once again in the semifinals, I should say, for the best high A ballpark. Right now we are battling in the semifinals with our wonderful rivals from just up north, South Bend Cubs. Currently, last I looked, I think TinCaps had 53% of the vote. So get out there, vote. I believe voting extends until Memorial Day. So we got a few days left, and obviously, Mike, I mean, you know it, I know it, everyone who's been here knows it, the spoils we have with this beautiful ballpark.
Since 2009, I have called this facility the Taj Mahal of minor league baseball.
Yeah.
And it's not just been me who has used terms like that. The awards that this place has won for being such a beautiful facility.
Yep.
And again, this is a multi-purpose facility.
Yeah, it really is.
It's not just baseball games in the summer with professionals. High school baseball series has gone on for a number of years.
Yep.
There's been college soccer games played here.
There's been concerts.
And there's been concerts. The inside area, there's over 11,000 square feet of indoor meeting space here where you get, like the Rotary Club meets here. You have weddings, wedding receptions here, birthday parties here, all kinds of usages for this facility. And it has been recognized by its peers. That's the key thing. Recognized by its peers as the best facility around. So
we're certainly
again,
spoiled.
we're spoiled. We ask you to vote and to keep that string going of having the best facility, high A if not all of minor league baseball.
Absolutely. Mike, let's hope for a little more luck for our wonderful TinCaps, the boys who play at this wonderful facility moving forward. But and hopefully next week we're back with a great polo again, because it's good luck, and hopefully with some better things to talk about. But until then, he's Mike Maahs. I am Justin Prince. That was TinChattin. We'll be right back after this.